else comes, hopefully. Okay, hello and welcome to this week's Artist Talk in our series at Yukon Artists at Work in Whitehorse, Yukon. It's September 3rd. Yep, yes. I'm Leslie Leong, and I'd like to acknowledge you are here on the traditional territory of the Tagish-Kwan people, where the Don Quechan Council and the Kwanlin Dun First Nation govern, and I thank them for sharing this land with us. I'd also like to thank the Yukon Arts Fund for supporting the Artists in the Window series and Music Yukon for making it possible to host an extra 4 artists. Today, we're here with Jeanine Baker, fabulous glass artist, both stained glass and fused glass primarily. Hello, Jeanine.
Hi, you guys.
I think that, yep, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jeanine.
Yes.
How did you get started using glass as your medium?
I took an evening course in 1981 on Vancouver Island, and I hated it.
Oh!
Yeah, I didn't like it at all, so I put it away for 5 years, went traveling, and then in '86, somehow somebody figured out I did glass, and I got a commission right away.
Wow! So you were kind of forced into it reluctantly.
Yeah, so I pulled out the tools, and I learned how to make glass cooperate.
So when did it change for you?
To be honest.
Well, then in the 90s, Captain Martin House had Points of View exhibition.
Okay.
So I entered into the Points of View and got good reviews. So
okay.
Then it just started going more and more. We needed winter money, and glass made winter money.
I'm on Zoom.
Yeah.
And subject matter, how do you decide and what inspires you?
Oh, color and light inspires me. Whatever's going on, if I see a reflection in a lake or something, I'll turn that into glass. Or houses. I really like architecture for some reason. Like Donna's house would be great in glass.
So houses, tell me a little bit more about that. So isn't there something about tiny houses?
Well, I've made a lot of tiny houses. The only small affordable homes in the Yukon.
Can you guys hear okay?
I don't know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me out there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, just don't know because it's far away from you.
Right, right. Yeah, so I just seem to get attracted to houses. The Plein Air Festival, painting log cabins and high caches, and I don't know, I seem to come back to architecture a lot. I like architecture.
And I think I heard you once say that you wanted everyone to be able to have a house.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I made small affordable homes.
That's really
so that
cute.
everyone could have their own house.
They could all have their own tiny house, yes.
And own it.
And you have a stylized way of illustrating. And so what came first, the way of illustrating, or did the stained glass come first and then the illustrating follow?
The glass came first. Then I had to design for the glass. And I've taught a lot, and I've always taught that do your own design. It's a lot of work. So whatever your design is, whatever your idea, I'll help people tweak it so that it works with glass.
Yeah.
And then it's much more valuable when it's your own idea versus copying out of a book.
Totally. Well,
Yeah.
it's your original work, as we can see in the background here. Can you
Yeah.
explain this one to us? And it doesn't necessarily need explaining, but it's beautiful.
Well, I had beautiful glass here, so I've got the striations, and it worked into a mountain, and then this is all fused water.
Wow.
So I just texturized.
Oh, you fused the water.
I fused the water, and then I painted on these. So these are all fired separately. All this is fused glass, and then fired, and then it's all been leaded together. This is painted. These are fused on here.
Wow.
So, and then this is all art glass, Tiffany art glass. It comes this way, and you just pick and choose your pieces to fit.
So does some of your inspiration then come from the actual glass that you
Yes.
have?
Yes, sometimes you have this piece and you know you're going to use it,
Yeah.
and you have to design around that piece of glass.
Okay, so it's not always the same.
Never the same. You
Never
can't
the same.
you can't do anything twice. It's hard to do reproductions.
So lots of people try it out and they find that it's hard to cut curves. What's your secret?
Well, I find curves are easier than straight lines.
Ah.
I don't know. If you get to hear the sound of the cutter and you know what sound you're looking for. And once you've got that sound, it usually cuts pretty good. You can tap on the bottom, but it's nicer if you can get a clean cut and not have to do that.
So then how do you like match the curve with the next piece?
Well, it's all a cartoon. This has all been drawn out on a big panel.
Yeah.
So all the lines are there with a felt pen, and you're cutting to the felt pen width inside of each side so that you have room for this piece of lead cane. It has a heart, and the heart fits between, and you got to get it as close as you can. Otherwise, you'll have gaps.
Okay.
And yeah.
And what about size? So that's really big. What's the biggest one you've done?
Well, the one at the multiplex is 3 panels, 4 by 6.
Wow.
And they get pretty awkward.
4 feet.
4 feet by 6 feet. Yeah, they get pretty kind of wobbly because this is all separate pieces.
Yeah.
And they're all just joined together with this very small piece of lead and some reinforcing. This one would be reinforced this way, right down here.
Right.
And probably across in a couple of places. Yeah.
So, and then in terms of size, so that's the big end. What about the little end?
Well, pendants, you know,
Yeah.
little wee things like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or this has got metal. We did some blacksmithing and beads. This is a landscape. The beads are a landscape. And yeah, tiles. This is thick glass. There's many layers. Maybe hard to see. So I just construct whatever I come up with, whatever looks good and feels good. I put it together.
Also, once I saw these tiny little vases that you actually have.
No, the lamp work, that's done the same as the beads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lamp working. You can make sculpture.
Yeah. So, and when you started, did you start with stained glass or fused glass or lamp work stuff? What?
Stained glass.
Yeah. Okay.
And then worked into the fusing and the painting then, which then goes back to stained glass because painting and stained glass are the oldest.
Okay.
Yeah. And now the glass blowing has taken over universities and people start there and come back to stained glass, whereas I started from stained glass.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And it seems like you end up teaching a lot because your studio's become a little bit of a magnet for budding artists.
Mm-hmm.
How did that occur? And
somebody asked me to teach at the college in Carcross.
yeah.
I can't do that. So she said, it'll just be friends. You'll know everybody. So I says, okay. And then one class led to another. Then they wanted me in Atlin and then Haines Junction, my sister and all her friends there. And then Arts Underground. And it's just one thing on top of the other. And then I just started doing it myself at the studio that I, you know, because we just built that. So it's newer.
It's newer. And this week, you're the artist in the window at Yukon Artists at Work down here in Whitehorse on 4th Avenue. And you have this little tiny oven here. What are you doing in the window this week?
I'm making little fused glass panels.
Oh.
So it's a 7-inch shelf. So I'm just doing little wee ones.
Okay.
And showing people how it's done.
Okay, so it's more of a demo than a production sort of a situation. Yeah, yeah.
And that's why it's so hot in here.
Yes, it is hot in here. Well, the glass is beautiful. I didn't realize that the that's fused glass that you made and then did the stained glass. Yeah.
And then different textures. You buy glass in the various textures and streaks. That comes that way. Yeah.
Okay, now I'd like to know if people have some questions. Let's see how we do that. Does anybody have some questions for Janine? I don't know how we hear them.
Mute.
Can you guys hear me? This is Tina.
Yes, we can. Somebody we hear.
Oh, hey. This is Tina calling in from Skagway.
Hi, Tina.
Looking good. I was going to ask you if you ever joined your fused glass with regular traditional stained glass in a piece like this, and it looks cool. It really adds a lot of texture. I guess my question would be, what I'm just curious from an artist perspective is like, what are you able to do with your, say, castaways or your stained glass pieces maybe that didn't turn out, or little globs. I was just curious, is there a way to give them new life, or what do you do with your pieces that don't turn out?
Well,
maybe they all turn out. Maybe they all turn out. So
I do a lot of mosaic classes. The Atlan Music Festival and stuff, I get hundreds of people using my scraps and just going with all the tiny pieces.
oh, cool. Okay. Yeah.
So that's the stained glass. And then the fused glass I can break down and refuse into something else.
Yeah.
So I try to use it all because I just got a bill for my order and it's quite expensive to ship, as we know.
Yes.
That's
true.
Yeah.
That actually brings me to think about something else that you've done. You've used a lot of recycled glass. Tell me what you've done for the redesign fair and some projects.
We go into the recycling redesign fair and just take window glass and fuse it into many things. Birds, using shards. You can make pendants like with paint. This is glass paint on float glass, so it's recycled. Bottle glass, if you use the same bottle, you can create sculpture and stuff with that. So yeah, we're just trying to use all the materials we have at hand.
And you made a beautiful bowl.
Yeah, I've made some bowls and baskets, kind of baskets with voids that won't hold any water, but they will hold buns.
Yeah. All right.
Bun holder, yes.
And you can also buy Fritz for the window glass, colored powders that you can use only with the window glass that I can't use with this glass. So there's ways to color it.
I missed this if you talked about it earlier, but this kind of glass chime totem thing that you got on your left shoulder.
Yeah.
What is this what is this?
Well, it's an abstract landscape. But
oh, I didn't see the metal. Okay.
Yeah, so this was always an idea. I wanted to take metal. I wanted to hammer everything and blacksmith the whole thing to suit. So I'm gearing up to be able to do that again. And then the beads, you can create beads, and this is a landscape starting with the sunset, the bird, the land, and down into the water.
Oh, cool. Now I get it. Not once you turned it around, I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
I couldn't hold it out here, so there it is.
Yeah, excellent.
Thanks.
Can you also tell us what those are?
Beads?
Yeah.
Well, these are just elements that I've fused to use in future panels. So you can make, when I'm filling up the kiln shelf, I'll just add things to the shelf just to use on another project.
They look like sunbursts or
They
something.
do. It almost became a sunburst.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep on taking up everybody's time. I'd like to see if there's some more questions out there.
I'm curious about the penguin thing in the background. Did you do that one?
The penguin thing.
I don't know if it's a penguin or it's
here?
down at, yeah. I can't
That-
tell what it is.
Yeah, it's a raven catching the light. I'm not exactly sure when I did that, but it
Oh,
might have been a
I
commission.
see the raven now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been a commission that somebody didn't come and get. So
Hopefully you got the money.
well, I might.
So how long have you been doing this?
Well, I took my glass course in 91.
So that's like,
almost 40 years. God.
wow.
Yeah.
You
Almost
don't look
40 years.
old enough.
But I didn't touch it for 5 years. I did not like cutting glass.
Really?
It was frustrating. Really hard to do.
Wow.
And when I took my class, they never mentioned glass grinders or any kind of tools. It was completely hand tools. It was a British glass worker, 5th generation. And he didn't mention any tools. There weren't very many tools. There were no kilns. Nobody was doing that stuff in that year. That's all kind
Where
of
did you do that?
in Duncan on Vancouver Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
High school there. Now, and you must have learned all sorts of things. I think you have said once before that only certain kinds of glass are compatible or something. What's that about? And
You learn all that. Each brand of glass is a different compatibility. So this is bullseye. I can melt anything that's bullseye together. But anything that's spectrum, it has to be melted with other spectrum glass. Window glass is by itself. Bottled glass goes with my glass. And then borosilicate is the Corning ware that is all by itself. Really tough. And then the Japanese make a beading glass. It's called 120 COE. It's super soft. It melts really easily. So there's all this variety of temperatures to create.
So it's not as simple as just putting it all together and melting it.
No, you can't just use any kind of glass.
Right.
Even one piece of window glass and a different window glass will break. That you pretty near need to use the same sheet of glass.
Wow. Okay.
If you want to be sure about it.
Complicated.
Well, I've got it all in my head. It's yeah, you get it.
You have a library in your head. Yeah. And so the other thing I was wondering about too is what's so special about Morano glass? Is it just marketing, or is there something special?
Well, it's probably the oldest. The Italians had all the glass secrets first, and then they developed all the glass workers who are fantastic, and it was all kept secret. So
Really?
That's why they're on Morano. They kept them on an island so they couldn't get out and tell their secrets. And
it's an island. I didn't know that.
yeah, so they had the glass secrets, and then I guess the British kidnapped a couple of them so they could have the secrets. And it started to spread a bit, but you were wealthy if you had glass secrets.
Wow.
In the 1200s.
You have glass secrets.
Well, now they're writing books.
Oh.
Before they weren't writing books. Now they're freely writing books and telling people. But 25 years ago, nobody would tell you how to make that thing.
Wow.
With a torch or something.
Crazy.
Well kept secrets. I think Chihuly was the one who brought glass secrets to America.
Really? So that he must be old.
He's pretty old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do we have any other questions out there?
How's the weather? It's really sunny today.
Can they hear us? Do you have any other questions?
It's a little chilly, windy here, but we were outside painting a little while ago, so it's nice down here, Skagway.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Wow.
Right on.
Did you have anything else you wanted to tell us?
I don't know. I'm better with people just asking me questions. I like what I'm doing, and I'm getting ready to gearing up for a winter of art. And hopefully this COVID bypasses so that we can get back to normal. So I can come
Do you have classes lined up or any big projects in the works yet?
I've got some commissions, 4 commissions or so. And then working at the gallery here, but I'll make a class if somebody makes the group, because then they all know each other. But I won't advertise for a class. But I often get families or friends that want to come and do a class, and that's great. I've got a bigger space now, so I can spread people out however much I have to.
Good.
Yeah. And I like teaching. Teaching's fun.
Do you?
I do.
It's kind of neat. Yeah. Why?
I don't know, because people leave so happy. They end up turning something out that they like, and it's fun. Yeah.
Oh, good.
And you're showing them and sharing all this information. You're the glass goddess. You know what I mean? They're like, tell me more. What do I do next, master?
Sometimes, and sometimes they teach me.
Yeah.
I said, don't do that, but look what happened.
Unruly students. Yeah.
Yeah. So you gain as much as you give, in a way.
True.
I find that I learn a lot when I'm teaching, and would you say the same, or
Yes.
that you learn?
Sure. Yeah. People try stacking things a different way, or they just create something that you had never thought of. So for sure, it's kind of nice that way. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janine. Janine, you can see more of Janine's work in our gallery, of course, at 4129 4th Avenue in Whitehorse. And you can also see her work on Facebook at Janine Baker's art page, I think. Yeah, it's called. And you can see her work in the window until September 7th, Monday, right? You're going to leave it in the window?
Tuesday, I'll be here.
Okay.
8.
Oh, Tuesday too. Okay, good. And Janine will be demonstrating in the window tomorrow, Friday, September 4th, from 11 till 2. And Saturday, you were saying you're going to do Saturday too. So that's great. That's great. And Jeanine Baker is our last official artist in the window, but expect to see other artists continuing to demonstrate their work in the window this fall, more in an informal way, and maybe this winter, because we found it to be quite successful. So, and yeah, watch for Suzanne's, actually come in for Suzanne Hauserman's exhibit. She's got a solo exhibit this month. And yeah, she'll also be doing some demos and experimental textile techniques to show people. So thank you very much for coming, and thank you, Janine.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you when we see you.